everyone, I'm Sophie and we are today here with Dr. Justine. She's a dermatologist and well, I'm so happy to talk with her today because I have a lot of doubts about IPL, so I think she's gonna help me a little bit. Thank you for joining me today.
I'm delighted to be here with the Braun Silk-expert Pro 5. So I'd absolutely love to hear about your life and tell me a little bit about, your experience with hair treatment to date, really.
Well, I have a long story because I remember when I was younger, my mom, she was telling me always to remove my hair always with a serum and not with a razor. She was like, no, don't use that, don't use it. And because I feel like, I never listened to her and I start using this a lot. So my hair start being like super big, and you were touching it, my legs, and it was painful, I swear you. So one of my best friends, she talked to me about the IPL. I get really nice results in the salon, and I was like afraid to use it at home.
So you're worried about using it at home, and that's understandable. People get anxious about using these sort of procedures at home, but in fact it's absolutely one of the safest devices you can use. And the reason for that is it has something called sensor-adapt technology. So it will literally read your skin tone up to 80 times a second. So it will put the right amount of energy for an optimal result in the safest possible way to help you get rid of that unwanted hair. It's incredibly comfortable to use. I've used it myself, and in fact it's a comfortable device to use. It's also very efficient, so it can do both legs in about 5 minutes. So hopefully I can therefore reassure you about using this device at home.
I remember in the salon it was a little bit painful, but I don't know how painful is the Braun.
Importantly, it has 3 settings. So it has a normal setting, then it has gentle and extra gentle. And some people may find it mildly uncomfortable, but I would say overwhelmingly it's a very comfortable device, and it's almost certainly more comfortable than having in-salon IPL. The other convenient factor, obviously, is you can do it more frequently. So you would use it once a week, and after 4 weeks, you'll immediately start to notice some difference. And by 12 weeks, most people have got to the stage where they're happy with their hair.
When I tell people sometimes that I like to do IPL, they are like, oh no, that's so bad for skin, don't do it that often, na.
The light that we worry about is UVA, UVB, so the sunlight you might get from, say, from a sunbed. But this is very different. This is a different wavelength. It's a safe wavelength, and so it's absolutely safe to use on your skin.
So what actually is IPL?
IPL is a broadband light source, so it's called intense pulse light. And what we use is filters to filter out the wavelength we want. So for example, to target the melanin or pigment in the hair, in the follicle. So you're actually treating the hair at the source. And that's why it's very important, for example, when you're preparing for IPL, that you shave the hair and leave the hair in the follicle, because that's what you're targeting, and you don't wax the hair, for example, or pluck it out. But the idea is you're creating a permanent solution to unwanted hair.
So IPL and the laser is the same thing or not?
The principle is the same. So you're changing a sort of light energy to a heat energy, so to help to target in the laser. The difference is the light source. So with a laser, it's a single sort of monochrome, whereas with intense pulse light, it's a broad spectrum light, which we then use filters to take out the wavelength we want to target, for example, a hair follicle.
How should we prepare our skin to use the device? Like, we have to do a special thing before doing it, or what?
It's very straightforward to prepare to use a device. You would shave as normal. Remember, you don't want to remove the hair from the follicle because you want to target it in the follicle. So you don't want to wax the skin or tweeze or any hairs. You want it to sit in the follicle, but make it nice and short by shaving, so all that lovely energy is going into that sort of follicle. And if you want to get rid of any dead skin cells, you could gently exfoliate the skin. And a good moisturiser is always good to prepare. I always think till your skin's really healthy and ready to use so any device on the skin. So that's my advice to you.
What's the right way to use the device? Because I don't know if it is like this. So if you can show us, please.
Here's the device. You can see it's got a lovely shape, and you can see how easy it will be to use. There are 3 buttons here, and if all 3 buttons are showing, that's normal sort of strength. If you want to start with more gentle strength, you can go down to 1 button, which is very gentle. So here we go. This is the wider head, which we'd use, for example, on the legs, and I will tend to go for a glide technique. So when you put it on the area you're trying to treat, then as long as you've got the right amount of pressure, it will discharge its energy. And it'll do up to 125 shots per minute, so really very quick to use. Then if you want to, for example, use a sort of the smaller head, which is a more precise head, then just change the head, put on the smaller head, here it is. Really straightforward to change over. And then you might want to change your technique. So if, for example, you're in the sort of bikini area or under the arm, then you might want to be a bit more precise, and you can just use more of a sort of stamp technique. I'm really not feeling much discomfort here at all, and it's very straightforward to use.
Okay, I think it's easier than I was thinking. Like, I see you and it looks like super easy, and also like I think it's like super easy to take it off and put the new head. So that's amazing. Imagine if I go on holidays to a sunny place and I'm tanning the whole day. Could I bring it with me and use it there, or is it dangerous if I'm tanning?
It's a really portable device, so you can take it anywhere and plug it in anywhere if you want to treat it whilst you're away from home. So that's one of the really lovely parts of this machine. What I would say is what we want to target is the pigment in the hair and the hair follicle. What we don't want to target is a pigment in the skin. And wherever you've got more of a tan, it will deliver a lower energy to be very safe, to make sure that that it gives the most efficient amount of energy but the safest possible way.
My boyfriend can use the IPL, my IPL, or it's just for girls?
Yes, he could use the IPL if you're happy for him to use it. We recommend from the shoulders downwards that men can absolutely use the IPL. But obviously, if they're treating sort of areas of thick hair, they must shave the area first and before, and do all the same, exfoliate the skin and prepare the skin properly before using the IPL. But there's certainly no reason why your boyfriend couldn't use your machine if you allow him.
Okay, thank you. What advice will you do to someone that is new in the home hair removal, like me, for example?
I suppose the first advice would be to say that this is a really good time of year to use it. So be brave, get going and start using it, because it really is a solution, for a really lovely permanent solution for unwanted hair. I
will convince my boyfriend to use it too, because he has a lot of hairs here, so I will take them because I don't like them.
I think you're very generous allowing your boyfriend to use it, but anyway.
No, but I think he will like it because he doesn't like hair. I hate hairs. Like, I hate hairs so much. So this is amazing for me. Like, you don't even know, like, and I think he will like it too. Definitely I will be using the Braun Silk-expert Pro 5. After all your advices, I think it's like super easy and it's gonna make my life easy. And thank you so much, Justine, for your time, for all your advices. And well, if you need more information, you can find it in the Braun website. There is a lot of information about the device. And that's it. Thank you so much. Bye.